Dandat Pranam to all Vaishnavas assembled. Thank you all for nicely chanting the holy names in the Brahma Muhurta. So now we'll go to the sweetest part of the day, that is a little bit of discussion on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Today's verse being chapter 1, Canto 1, chapter 17, text number 7. Before that, I seek all the blessings and prayers of all the Vaishnavas so that I can speak in the line of Parampara, and I'm doing this for my own purification. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, Punishment and Reward of Kali. Text number 7. Tvam va mrunala davalaha nyuna padacharan vrisharupena kim kaschid devo naha parikedayan. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Then he, Maharaj Parikshit, asked the bull, who are you? Are you a bull as white as a white lotus? Or are you a demigod? You have lost 3 of your legs and are moving on only one. Are you some demigod causing us grief in the form of a bull? Purport. At least up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, no one could imagine the wretched conditions of the cow and the bull. Maharaj Parikshit therefore was astonished to see such a horrible scene. He inquired whether the bull was not a demigod, assuming such a wretched condition to indicate the future of the cow and the bull. So devotees, since the purport is very small, today I'm going to take shelter of the previous 2 verses and we shall discuss some few points on this. So, Om Agnanatimarandasya Gnanaanjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Datatri Swapadatikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I would like to thank our leader, His Grace MMD Prabhu, for giving us all this wonderful opportunity to share few points in the Brahma Muhurta hours every day. Discussion on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So this is a wonderful session where we have been seeing that Parikshit Maharaj, he met all 3 people, 3 personalities. Who are they? The personality of Dharma, who is in the form of the bull, the personality of Dhara, Mother Earth, who is in the form of cow, and the Kali personified, who is in the form of a Shudra, but he is dressed as a king, right? So we have been learning how Kali's influence is affecting the morality and spirituality, and we shall see some practical takeaway points for navigating this modern age. So we are going to discuss 3 points today. That is, point number 1 is Devata. Why Parikshit Maharaj was addressing the bull as Devata? Point number 1. Point number 2 is why Mother Earth, she took the form of cow only and not any other animal. And point number 3 is under my protection. Very important word. Why Parikshit Maharaj is saying the Kali personified. He's saying under my protection. So these 3 points we'll discuss. So we see in the previous verse, verse number 5, we heard that Parikshit Maharaj is saying, who are you? You appear to be strong and yet you dare to kill. who is within my protection, those who are helpless. By your dress, you pose yourself to be a godly man, king, but all your actions, your deeds, is just opposite of the principle of the twice born Kshatriyas. Then in the verse number 6, he's saying, you rogue, do you dare beat an innocent cow because Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the carrier of Gandiva bow, are out of sight? Yeah. Since you're beating the innocent in a secluded place, you are considered a culprit, and therefore you deserve to be killed. So these verses, they are shedding light on the symbolic degradation of dharma in the Kali Yuga. And it is challenging to the truth and righteousness of Kali Yuga. So we know that Parikshit Maharaj first addressed Kali Purusha, then the bull and the cow, Mother Earth, and he is in constant communication with them. See, sometimes we see that it happens to us also. So when we reach some place and we realize that the situation is not great, not very calm, there is some problem in the particular place, and we also try to question so many things, why it's happening, what is the reason for it to happen, all this many questions we also get, right? So when there is a problem in some place, the similar situation is with Parikshit Maharaj now. When he reached this place, he saw that the bull is standing on one leg and is trembling and urinating, and the cow was very weak and crying. But the third personality, the Shudra, the Kali personified, was beating them. Hence, Parikshit Maharaj started asking many questions. There were about 11 questions Parikshit Maharaj asked. Out of them, one was asked to the bull. And he asked them if he was a Devata. So, he asked, question was, you are a Devata and why are you giving us grief? So, why is he asking? Why is this question asked? So, Parikshit Maharaj was sad seeing the bull's position. So, the reason is that why is addressing the bull as Devata? The reason is whenever there is some inauspicious things going to happen in the future, so the Devatas are there to give us some indication. They give some warning to us. That is the reason he is addressing him as Devata. So Parikshit Maharaj thought that this was a Devata who was giving us some indication that the future there is some inauspicious things going to happen by showing him the situation of bull in this form. This is why. And also we see that Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, he inquired whether the bull was not a demigod, assuming such a wretched condition to indicate the future of the cow and the bull. Another comparison Parikshit Maharaj gives us is that the form of bull he calls Mrunala Davalaha. So he's comparing the bull's color to a white lotus flower. This also we have seen in the verse number 2. And Rajanath Prabhu has shared that the bull, dharma is compared to purity and beauty. As white signifies purity and beauty. That is why Parikshit Maharaj is doing this comparison to the dharma. So we have discussed this in detail. The different Prabhu has given us the different types of lotus and colors and all that. So dharma is always pure because who is upholder of dharma? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. He is a progenitor. Dharma is upholder and implementer of dharma. That is the reason for comparison of what it is compared to white lotus. And this is significant. And and another thing is we can also see our wonderful 6 Goswamis who are always wearing white. And Srila Prabhupada also says the Paramahamsas, they always are in white dress, right? So we'll go to the point number 2 now. Why Mother Earth has taken the form of a cow? It is very special. She could have taken any other form, but why specifically cow? That is because we see, because the work or service which Mother Earth is giving all of us, Bhumi Devi, that is the same service what is provided by Mother Cow. How Like, what does Mother Cow, the Mother Earth provide us? She gives us so much nourishment by giving us all the required vegetables, fruits, grains, roots, right? There is the same service what Mother Cow does for us. Out of the 7 mothers, cow is one of them. That is why many a times Mother Earth takes the form of a cow. And let us see what the milk gives us. From the milk, we can extract curd, the most important ghee, butter, and so many things we can get from the milk. And very important is from the ghee, which is used for performing yajnas for the Supreme Lord. So by that yajnas, the Supreme Lord is very pleased. And with that, when Supreme Lord is pleased, the Devatas are pleased. When Devatas are pleased, they give us sufficient rains. With sufficient rains, we get sufficient grains. And that, with sufficient grains, we are all very satisfied. Okay, the living entities are very satisfied. So this is a complete circle. And this is beautifully explained in the Bhagavad Gita, Shloka 3, text number 14. It says that Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha yagnat bhavati parjanyo yagna karma samudbhavaha. So very beautiful this cycle is explained. Again in the 11th canto, Lord says in the Uddhava Gita that the Avadut Brahmana, he has many gurus and he learns from nature, right? One of the guru is Mother Earth. Why? What do we learn from Mother Earth? What quality can we remember from Mother Earth? Can we get from Mother Earth? That is tolerance. She is the epitome of tolerance. How do we know she's tolerating? Simple. No matter how much we abuse her, she's always tolerating. And on the contrary, what is she doing? She's still providing us all what is required for us for our sustenance. That is, she's giving grains, fruits, roots. She does not complain at all. Our entire survival is based on this fact that Mother Earth is providing all this for us in spite of tolerating all the nonsensical things we do. Do we have any other technology that we can produce food, grains, fruits from air? No. So all is provided by the Mother Earth, right? So now we'll go to the point number 3, where Parikshit Mother is saying, under my protection. What does it mean? Simply because he's saying they are one of the prajas. Yeah. MMD Prabhu always says that praja means not only human beings, even living entities. Every living entity is considered as a praja, and the Raja has to take care. Such a wonderful and Vedic understanding this is, right? The praja, we're always thinking how to serve the king and how we can contribute to the kingdom. And the duty of the king is to see that his prajas are happy, the prajas are protected, all the things are taken care so that the prajas are happy. That is the reason Parikshit Maharaj he's in grief. Another important point is that the praja has to be under the protection of the king. And this becomes the praja's duty. This is, duty, and being under protection means to say that we must follow all the rules of the kingdom. We all want to be under, many a times we all, at least in my case, we all want to be under protection, but we do not want to follow the rules and regulations of the land, rules and regulations of Supreme Lord. But Srila Prabhupada has designed such a wonderful system, even for the devotees, whether brahmachari, agrastha, all of us have a wonderful system of guidance. Be it Yatra leaders, Sriniya Vaishnavas, or take for example congregation. We have circle leaders, sector leaders who are always, they are ready to give us their time and energy to guide us and to see that we are all progressing in bhakti. This facility is not new by Srila Prabhupada. This is going on from time immemorial. If you take, for example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement has started this Krishna conscious movement. So, where Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was indeed placed under the direct care of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was instructed to take care of Raghunath Das. he grew up in the residence which was near Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhakti Kutir in Puri. So, so please, devotees, please do not misunderstand these arrangements and think that why this leadership or mentorship we are put under. Many think that this is a problem and think that bhakti has to be in the mind and it is only the mood. And why is that I have to be under someone? Many times we think. So people think this is a hurdle and why should I listen to a particular leader? This is between me and the Supreme Lord. And why should I report to another person here? I know how to chant. I know how to attend Mangalarti. Why should I report under a leader? No, this should not be our mood. We need senior Vaishnavas to guide us at every step. They are the ones who can engage us in different types of sevas because they know our strength and weaknesses. According to that, they will engage us accordingly. They know our talents. So accordingly, they'll ensure and they will engage us in the service of Guru and Gauranga. So in fact, the devotee or sadhak should be delivered from the independent mentality. This mentality should be renounced or given up. Right? Only then we can progress in bhakti. And also the main reason, one more point is, the main reason why we are stuck in this material world, because because of independence. We want to be independent of the Lord, and that is why we are here. Yes, sent us to the material world. Now here also we want to be independent, and that is why we are still, at least me, I'm suffering here in this material world. So we must surrender, and that is the only way, way forward in bhakti movement. So there is Bhagavad Gita, there is a summary that says that Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mam Ekam. So singular, Ekam, only to myself and me. Krishna says, very clear message, right? There is another verse, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Mai Asakta Mana Partha Yogam Yunjam Mad Ashrayaha Samyam Samagram Mam Yata Gnasyasi Takshrunu. So Krishna is saying, now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga and full consciousness of me with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So clearly Krishna is telling us, Mat Ashrayaha, take my Ashraya. So see, Srila Prabhupada explains so nicely how to understand Mad Ashrayaha. Why need a guru in between or a facilitator or mentor? So we are not in a pure state of mind, right? And hence, though Paramatma is within our heart, we cannot hear him, right? Because there is so much of defects, anarthas, and we are not in a level where we can take direct instruction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will think that Lord wants to, sometimes many a time we think we independently we think Lord wants to eat this today, he does not want puja today, we don't know. So being independent and wanting to do direct services is very dangerous. Hence it is good to take shelter of pure devotee who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because being independent mentality, having independent mentality will put us in trouble. Actually, Jiva naturally cannot be independent, because we have a beautiful verse here. Here always we wanting to serve the Supreme. Jivera Swarupahai, Krishnera Nityadas. So a Jiva cannot be independent. Because as Maya is always ready to give her love and care and shelter to those who want to be independent. So we should decide whether we want to be under the care of Maya or under the care of Krishna. Conditioned soul is even lower than Maya. So Jiva will always be under the control. At the best, he gets to be Maya Mukta and never Maya Dish. It is Sri Hari Vishnu. Sri Hari, Vishnu or Krishna, Supreme Controller and Creator. So as Maya is controlled by Supreme Lord, Jivatma is being controlled by Maya. So we try to do the same proprietorship, controller, and enjoyer. And since Maya is not our energy, we cannot succeed with this approach. Whereas if we take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can become Maya Mukta. And remember, we can never become, or we cannot become more than Maya. That means to say we cannot enjoy Maya. We shall always be under, and she would always looking for opportunities when we want to be independent. She will pounce on us. So we should be very vigilant about that. So now we can see couple of minutes and I'll close it. Now we can see how Parikshit Maharaj's point of view. So Praja needs to be under the care of Parikshit Maharaj. Just like the devotee should be under the care of senior Vaishnavas. It is just because they are just guide us and they care for us. At least we must be reporting what are the activities we are doing, be it preaching or any other services we are doing in the temple or any other services. This will help us, only as we are always only if we are always under the care of a senior devotee. Now Parikshit Maharaj playing the role of a senior, now is telling both the affected parties, the cow and the bull, that he would take care of them. So in the coming verses, we can see how he's going to give them protection, etc. So this is the role of the leader or the facilitator. He should be in the role of Parikshit Maharaj, like full care and support. So we need to be attached to the devotee too, wherein the leader's sadhana should not go for a toss, right? We must have time for sadhana too. We need to learn how to balance both the above and see that some small freedom is given so that he is more surrendered. So let me see if I missed any points. So we need to know where to utilize independence. Not that we use it by saying that I shall chant whenever I want. Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas have told us to chant during Brahma Muhurta. So we must stick to the general principle of guidance. So these kind of certain basic guidance must be taken. And some small freedom is given. We need not revolt and think that we need freedom for everything. We must know that we are das. And we must abide by the rules laid by the acharyas and gurujan. And to learn to be under the guidance and develop detachment. So with this, I would like to stop. So what we need to do, we need to be always keep reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, learn how to practice bhakti and learn to be detached. And all this we can do under the guidance of the Srina Vaisavas so that we nicely progress in our bhakti. Thank you all. With these few points, I would like to talk. Thank you all very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavana Gurudev ki jai, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.